Our next tool to add to your toolbox for building effective relationships and supervision is having strategies for developing strong communication and collaboration with your ABA supervisees. Let's twist our way into learning some strategies. We've been talking about how and why establishing rapport with supervisees is essential for effective supervision in the field of behavior analysis. Now, here are some key strategies supervisors can use to build rapport and create a positive working relationship with their supervisees. We can practice active listening, show empathy and validation, maintain confidentiality and discretion, provide constructive feedback, personalize the relationship, promote transparency, open communication, and accountability, demonstrate reliability and consistency, and recognize and appreciate contributions. By consistently applying these strategies, supervisors can foster a collaborative, trusting, and supportive environment that enables their supervisees to thrive and deliver high quality services to clients. Let's look more at how we do these things. One way that we can build rapport with our supervisee is to practice active listening. We do this by doing some of the following: demonstrate genuine interest and attention by actively listening to what others are saying, give your full attention to the person speaking, avoid distractions and multitasking, maintain eye contact, use body language, and nod or use nonverbal cues to show that you're engaged. Ask clarifying questions, paraphrase their statements, and show that you have understood their perspective. And avoid interrupting or formulating your responses while they are speaking. We can also build rapport by showing empathy and giving validation. Recognize and acknowledge the challenges and emotions our supervisees may be experiencing. Strive to understand their perspective, emotions, and experiences. Validate their feelings and perspectives, even if you may have a different point of view. Convey that you understand the demands and pressures that they face in their roles. And acknowledge the challenges they face and express your willingness to support them. With trust and rapport, it is important to maintain confidentiality and discretion. You can do this by assuring supervisees that any sensitive information shared during supervision will be kept confidential. Respect their privacy and do not disclose personal details without their consent. And be mindful of the confidentiality of clients' information as well. Providing constructive feedback is another way to build rapport when done the right way. As supervisors, we can offer feedback in a constructive manner that focuses on growth and development rather than criticism. We can highlight our supervisees' strengths and areas of competence and provide specific, actionable suggestions for development. We can also encourage them to share their own perspectives and ideas for addressing challenges. It's also important to highlight that by providing constructive feedback to our supervisees, we are also modeling the process for them so that they can also learn this skill to use in future supervisor experiences that they may have. We can build rapport with our supervisees by personalizing our relationship with them. To do this, we take the time to learn about their interests, goals, and personal lives to the extent appropriate. We find common ground and shared experiences to build a more personal connection, and we celebrate their successes and milestones, both professional and personal, again when appropriate. We can build rapport by promoting transparency, open communication, and accountability. We do this by clearly communicating our expectations, the reasoning behind our decisions, and the supervision process. It is important that these expectations are clarified at the start of the supervisory experience so that they may be a foundation on which the supervision acts within. Without clearly defining these expectations, it's difficult for the supervisee to know how to perform, as well as difficult for the supervisor to know how to effectively assess performance. Further, we foster an environment where others feel comfortable sharing their thoughts, concerns, and ideas freely. We model transparency about our own strengths, weaknesses, and areas for growth as a supervisor, as well as modeling transparency about our own decision making process and the rationale behind our supervisory actions. We take responsibility for our actions and admit mistakes when appropriate. And importantly, we encourage two-way feedback and are receptive to suggestions from others. We build rapport by being able to demonstrate reliability and consistency. We follow through on our commitments and are available to provide support and guidance when needed. We fulfill the promises and agreements we make with others. We maintain a predictable and stable presence so that others can rely on us as a source of stability. We avoid sudden or unexplained changes in our approach or expectations, and we respond to requests or concerns in a timely manner or communicate if there's any delays. Lastly, we can build rapport by recognizing and appreciating contributions. We do this by acknowledging and expressing gratitude for the hard work and contributions of others. We also do this by providing positive reinforcement and opportunities for growth and advancement. We advocate for their professional development and help them achieve their career goals. And we celebrate their professional and personal achievements when appropriate. Effective verbal and nonverbal communication skills are essential for supervisors to build strong relationships with their supervisees. Here are some examples of important nonverbal and verbal communication skills. Let's look more at these. One way that supervisors show nonverbal communication is through positive body language. We do this by maintaining eye contact to convey interest and attentiveness. We use open, relaxed body posture and gestures to appear approachable. We lean in slightly to demonstrate engagement and active listening. And we nod or use other subtle nonverbal cues to show that you're following along. We also do this by monitoring our tone and voice qualities. We speak in warm, friendly, and professional tone. We adjust our volume, pace, and inflection to match the context and convey the appropriate emotion. And we avoid monotonous or overly formal speech patterns. We want to use our voice qualities to support the creation of a healthy, comfortable, and open relationship. We also increase comfort in a supervisor relationship by using nonverbal communication skills of mirroring and matching. We do this by observing and subtly mirroring the other person's body language and communication style. This can help create a sense of rapport and make the interaction more comfortable. It's also important to pay attention to the environment. By doing this, we ensure that the physical environment is conducive to open and comfortable communication. We want to choose a private, quiet space that minimizes distractions and arrange the seating to encourage a collaborative face to face interaction. You never realize how important the environment can be until you need to have an uncomfortable conversation and don't feel comfortable doing so if you haven't navigated this piece effectively enough. Our nonverbal communication skills are very important as we work with others, especially in a supervisory relationship, as is our verbal communication skills. When we are communicating with our supervisees, we want to ensure that we're engaging in active listening, as we have already talked about in previous slides, that we're using empathetic and validating language, and that we're providing constructive feedback. While doing this, we want to ensure that we're communicating with clarity and conciseness. Let's talk more about this. Providing clear and concise instructions is a crucial skill for supervisors. to ensure their supervisees understand expectations and can effectively implement behavior analysis interventions. Here are some strategies that BCBA supervisors can use to deliver clear and concise instructions. Clarify the purpose and objectives by clearly stating the purpose or goal of the instructions and explaining how the instructions align with the broader behavior analysis program or client goals. We also want to ensure that your supervisee understands the why behind the instructions. Further, we can break down complex instructions by dividing them into manageable step-by-step components. Like creating a task analysis. Be mindful to avoid overwhelming your supervisee with too much information at once, though. Use concrete and specific language by being precise with your word choice and using specific, measurable terms to describe the desired behavior or outcome. Just like we do with our clients, incorporate visual aids and demonstrations as needed. This can be through written instructions to complement verbal instructions, or a demonstration of desired behaviors or intervention techniques that you have your supervisees practice under your guidance, like using BST modules. Ensure that you're regularly checking for their understanding by pausing and asking them to rephrase or summarize back to you what you communicated. Further, encourage them to ask clarifying questions and monitor supervisee understanding through observation. Allow time for questions and feedback and be receptive to their input and willing to adjust instructions as needed to support increased understanding from your supervisee. This can really help to foster an environment where your supervisee feels comfortable seeking clarification, as we have spoken about already when we were talking about the importance of building rapport and trust. Lastly, provide ongoing support and coaching. Be available to your supervisee to troubleshoot or provide additional guidance and question answering. Regularly review the effectiveness of the instructions and make any necessary adjustments to help. By incorporating these strategies, supervisors can ensure that their staff members receive clear, concise, and actionable instructions, leading to more consistent and effective implementation of behavior analysis interventions.